This is the F1 podcast with Adam and Luke.
As we talk everything Formula One motor racing.
G'day and welcome to F1 Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast, and Monza GP. Mamma mia, molto bene, bene grazie. That's what we say in Italy.
Of course.
Isn't it, Luke? Yeah. We say to Monza, prego, prego, buon appetito. It was good for me, it was good for you. What a race! We were treated to one of the greatest of all time, a ding-dong wheel-to-wheel battle between Sebastian Fingerboy Vettel and Lewis Douche-Canoe Hamilton. Again, Sebastian made a mistake and threw away a heap of points. Das was not good. In an enthralling battle then, right to the end with the douche and team orders Kimi Räikkönen. For the inside info, we need to turn to this man to my right-hand side. This guy's a very special relationship with Italy, don't you, Luke? Mm-hmm. It's where you had your very first sexual experience as a young boy.
Young boy.
As a young boy.
I wasn't at the Vatican, was I?
No, you weren't with the Vatican. Thankfully, it was with an older Italian girl.
Oh, good.
Sophia Loren, when he was watching the 1954 classic, The Miller's Beautiful Wife. I don't blame you, Luke. That was a very sensual movie. Just a 14-year-old kid in a box of double-strength tissues. So many memories, Luke. So many good memories of you in Italy.
Good times.
And that race at Monza, what a race. Luke, how good was that race?
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get Sophia Loren out of my head.
I'm still trying to get you at the altar down my head. That was
Take me out.
Father Gary. No, Father Gary. No. Wow, what a race, Luke. It was amazing.
It was very good. Great race. We should flick to our commentary of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, there's been a huge a number of people requesting us to commentate
The highlights.
the highlight package again. It was so popular the first time. Do we have any requests?
Yep.
Yep.
Just do this again.
Yep, that was us, wasn't
Just
it?
make sure we keep making this podcast.
Righto, let's
I'm
do
gonna
this.
Get my kittens back.
The kittens have been held to ransom for this podcast. Okay, so we are going to commentate the Monza race, and we are lights out at Monza 2018. And off the start, Sebastian's lost the lead to Räikkönen, and Hamilton is tucking underneath, and it's Räikkönen in the lead, Luke. Räikkönen's in the lead. There's a lockup. Harley's in trouble.
He is in trouble. He got hit by one of the Saubers there. One of the harsh drivers completely ignores the corner. Heading down to Curva Grande, you've got Sebastian, Kimi, and Hamilton all fighting for position. Vettel right behind Räikkönen there, pulls out to go down the inside. Hamilton around the outside. Hamilton makes it around the corner, grabs second place. Oh, and we see Sebastian speeding in the background.
Sebastian, you bloody idiot. What are you doing?
I think he's trying to emulate Michael Schumacher from 2004.
Perfectly. He's thrown it away. What a way to throw away a championship. Hamilton has taken out. Well, he hasn't. I think it's Sebastian's fault, isn't it? Surely. Räikkönen in the lead. Let's take the replay. And side by side. And you idiot, Sebastian, what were you thinking, you numbnuts? Seriously.
But doing a little bit of a Grosjean burnout there. We take a look back and see Hartley get pinched by the McLaren and the Sauber, loses his front wing, gets on the radio and goes, yeah, it's fucked, can't drive any further.
Hopeless.
Back to cleaning the shitters.
It's Hamilton taking the lead from Räikkönen. What a great lead. What a great take. That was beautiful. And Verstappen's in third place now.
And Carlos Sainz completely ignores the corner as well.
You can't do that, Carlos. No. You can't do it.
No, not on this day and age, mate.
It's almost like a Verstappen. He's that much of a cheater.
Dirty
Verstappen.
driver.
Don't talk to me about Verstappen. And
Kimi
it looks
takes the place back, goes around the outside of Lewis.
Yes, what a move.
No touching, no spinning. That's how you do it clean, boys. That's how you fight for a championship.
Done. Could Räikkönen actually win something?
To the corner there.
Sweet move on the outside by Räikkönen. Very nice indeed.
Made it stick, had poor drive coming out. And here we're seeing the Magnussen and Perez contact on the entry to, I think that's the...
Whose fault was that?
Oh,
it looks like that's Perez. Surely he's drifted out wide. No room.
Yeah, he's given a little bit of room, but...
There's a lock up there. Verstappen's locked up.
Two
Bottas.
people who don't know how to drive. Bottas and Verstappen. Verstappen's completely ignored the corner just like everyone else is. Bottas locks up. Max locks up.
Oh, and Verstappen just comes out scot-free. That's rubbish.
In comes to the pits Kimi Räikkönen, lap 21.
Looking
and
good.
out. Has he pitted too early? We will soon find out.
I hope not.
The Mercedes team has pulled a bit of a shifty. They've come out with no tyres.
Oh, it's a phantom pit stop, Luke. Oh, no.
There's lap 24.
Oh, Dan Ricciardo.
There's a lot of smoke
Personality,
coming from
Dan.
the back of the Red Bull.
Fucking Renault. Fuck it. God damn it. And who's in the pits here? We got
Dushkin
that's
and
Hamilton. Hamilton's in the pits.
Lap 29.
Ooh, a couple of laps after Raikkonen. And now we've got Bottas in the lead. Raikkonen peppering on the back of him. Hamilton, Vettel.
Bottas has been given instructions to hold Kimi up as much as possible. So
Are you saying team orders, Luke? Is that what
I'm
you're saying?
saying team orders are being issued to a Finnish
Bottas?
driver. I think it's just if you finish, you have to abide by
You're
team orders.
either a wingman or your team orders. And we've got an inside move there from Sebastian. Very nice.
Down
Out
to
of Sergio
Variante,
Perez.
Ascari. Not a place you normally see passing happening.
God, he's in the zone there, isn't he, Vettel? He's pissed as. And Bottas, what's happened here? He's been taken off the track.
He's gone off track. We haven't seen it in the highlights, but we're going back to have a look at it. Goes around the outside of Verstappen. Verstappen just drives him clean into the side of him.
Oh,
and Verstappen gets a 5-second penalty, which at the time I thought was a bit soft for someone who just drove deliberately into the side of someone.
That's a drive-through in the pits penalty. That's ridiculous.
So, and they told Max, and Max was not too pleased. There was a lot of expletives.
Yeah.
Similar to what you saw, what we heard when Daniel was ejected from the race.
Yeah.
Saying that they're killing racing, and here we take a look at the overtaking manoeuvre of Lewis Hamilton around the outside of Kimi
Toto's
Raikkonen,
looking pretty
who has
edgy.
Incredibly badly blistered left rear tyre. There's a clear rim, and once you see the tyre after the race, it is falling
Did you say
apart.
clear rimming? Hope not. And Hamilton is in the lead, looking good, and that's it. Hamilton, that is a championship-changing win right there. That's how you do it, folks. That is top shelf from Hamilton. One of his best drives. Toto, look at that smile.
Clean overtaking manoeuvre.
Big German bear. He's happy. Raikkonen takes second. Verstappen takes third for the time being until he doesn't. Take that, Verstappen.
Yeah.
And Sebastian Vettel fifth. Not a bad recovery.
Yeah. Not bad for
Wow. What a race.
It was a great race.
All the way to the end.
There was a lot of thumbs down from the Italian fans, and on the radio they get to Bottas and say, let's go formation on the cool-down lap just to show
Is that payback? Is that payback for Germany? When Vettel said, in their own backyard.
Well, I don't know, because Lewis won Germany.
Oh, sorry. Where did
Silverstone?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was Silverstone, my bad.
So there's a lot of booing from the crowd to Lewis.
It only makes him stronger, mate.
I can completely understand
it. Only makes him stronger.
The funny thing is he completely ignores the booing they also give to Bottas.
Yeah.
So it's not just for you, mate. It's anyone who's not wearing red.
Yep.
I think anyone who's on the top step and's not wearing red, you're going to get booed.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter
it's
if you're
Italy.
first, third, second. If you're not in red,
if you're
not
going to
get booed.
A bowl of meatballs, someone's going to boo you.
Yeah. And
he's very sensitive, though, Lewis, isn't he?
I think there's a lot of snowflakes out there.
He likes to be liked, Lewis Hamilton, and if he's not, yeah.
I wonder what he thinks about us.
I think he's a big fan of the podcast. It'd be crazy not to. There's some quality stuff in this. A lot of insight that he's probably not aware of. I mean, he must get a lot of the info being so close to it, but sometimes you need to step back a little bit and keep stepping back and back.
Until we can't see you anymore.
Until you're right in the distance. That's where we are.
That's where we are.
So it's from that perspective.
We're in the distant periphery.
We're like Mount Everest. And he's on the beach drinking pina coladas.
Barbados.
Yeah, but Barbados.
And we're on the top of a mountain.
On the top of a mountain. But from this perspective up here, looking down, you can see barely nothing, which helps him sometimes.
It does.
Just to clean the mind. What a race.
Yeah,
that was an awesome race.
It was a good race.
Great commentary, Luke.
Thanks,
Big
Adam.
fan. I let you down. I feel like I...
No, you brought the energy. I bring the boring voice.
I brought energy, but it was misdirected. Like, there's really no direction. I want to get excited, but I don't know what's happening.
It's just like Murray Walker. Murray Walker brought the excitement. He was very inaccurate with most of the things he said.
Yep.
But he brought the excitement.
Yeah.
And that's what made you love Murray Walker. Or
That's
they call
true.
him Muddly Talker.
Muddly talker. Yeah. It was just a ball of excitement that you couldn't understand.
We're just going to run with it, roll with it. And whatever we come up with every week is what's going on the podcast.
I think...
No point trying to achieve perfection now.
Gosh. Bit late for that, mate. Bit late for that. No,
Sailed.
that is a fun.
ship has
That is a
sailed.
fun thing that we've got going on there.
I
F1
like it.
podcast.
I like it.
And I hope it wasn't too much. We didn't swear too much, did we?
Nah.
It's all good.
We kind of get the white rage when Ricardo
Yeah, sorry.
DNFs again, but that was a clutch issue, not a Renault issue.
Dan has had the worst luck, hasn't he? It's like, what's that, 4 non-finishes in 6 races now?
Oh, it's not good. It's not good at all.
And Verstappen shooting his mouth off. Red Bull's struggling right now.
So the Spec C engine that he's got in the back, the more powerful 0.3 of a second better engine, will be the one he'll use in Singapore because it is undamaged.
And it wasn't an engine that blew up because I don't
That was
remember.
a lot of smoke.
For a gearbox, that's a lot of smoke.
For a clutch.
A clutch.
A clutch.
The clutches normally
Maybe
smoke?
it's like a hill start. Maybe he did hill start before he
Maybe.
just burned the shit out of the clutch.
Yeah.
So that's the highlight commentary. That's what happened in the race.
Interesting. Should we look at the championship lead? Do we want to touch on more of the race? Or you
No,
wanna go
we
straight
can look
to
at the championship lead.
Sure.
Lewis on 256 points. Now, over a race win ahead of Sebastian Vettel. He's 30 points, 25 points for a race win. Hakimi is 92 points behind, and Valtteri, I won't pass wingman Bottas, 97 points behind the championship douche canoe.
It was a bit of a masterclass from Hamilton. I mean, we aren't his biggest fans. We'll put our hands up and say that. But just because we don't like the personality of the ego doesn't mean he can't drive.
No, he could drive.
What a drive.
You're not a 4-time world champion if you can't drive.
Fantastic. He just seems to be doing everything right this season at the right time. He's not making the mistakes that Vettel.
Yeah.
Vettel has made, 4 clear mistakes that he's made, and that is the difference.
I think Lewis has maybe had one bad weekend or 1.5 bad weekends, but he's been smart.
Yeah.
And that was calculated. He knew he'd get Kimi at some point. The way his tyres were blistering up, Kimi pushed. It's funny when you hear the commentary during the race. Ted Kravitz was like, "Oh, he shouldn't have pushed that hard."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, the team told him to because they were under the impression that Lewis was going to pit the very next lap.
Yep.
Or the lap after, and it turned in 4 or 5 laps later. So Kimi pushed too hard too early on the tyres, which overheated them and caused blistering under the tyres, which therefore breaks the surface, and therefore you've got less grip.
It was left to nurse the tyres home.
It was like a divot in the back, like
Yeah.
around
Clearly.
the rear tyre, and he had
Clearly
to still
damaged.
finish second. You know, I was back in the Nürburgring, I think in the mid-2000s when he was in McLaren. He was leading, and he had a flat spot on the front right. And on the very last lap that he was leading, that vibration ended up breaking his front suspension on the last lap. And he lost the race.
Yep.
Retired right there at turn 1. So there was concern that it might happen again. But the car held on, and he managed to nurse it home for second. And it was a great... the weekend was perfect for Kimi. He broke the lap record, broke the fastest ever Formula One
Yeah.
lap. There's a lot of people online are saying, it doesn't compare. There was groove tyres for when Montoya did in 2004. And, you got to look at wind and air pressure. And they're looking at little nitbits on it.
Yep.
He beat the lap record. Let's just take it at that. The one thing everyone seems to forget is the cars nowadays are about 130 kilos heavier.
Right.
That's significant.
It's hard to compare them. It's hard to compare.
You can't. But the thing is, what you can compare them with is the lap time.
Yeah.
And they beat them with a car that's 130 kilos heavier. That's significant in terms of it's gone from 600 kilos
Yep.
to 743 or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
The engines are also
Yeah.
way more powerful.
The engines are smaller. They were a 3-litre V10. Now they're 1.6-litre V4
Yep.
with a hybrid technology. You've got your MGUH, MGUK, and turbo.
Yep.
So they've got more things to it. But when you look at the lap, it's a quicker lap. By time, it's a quicker lap. And for a car that's 130 kilos, you can look at air pressures and temperatures and track temperatures and tyres all you want. But back then, you couldn't get tyres, like when they were running grooves, you couldn't run slicks as fast as they were running those grooves the way that Michelin and Bridgestone made it. And Michelin actually came out this week saying we wanted the F1 tender. We wanted to be back in F1, but we don't want to be degrading our tyres. We want to make a mini tyre war within a sole supplier. So what they do in MotoGP is it's not, you have to have soft on front and rear. You can have a soft and a hard rear, like a soft front and a hard rear. Yeah. Oh. So you can choose whatever you want. And they said that's what we wanted to bring into F1. That's what we use for when we have endurance racing. They've got a tyre that you can push the whole stint. It's not about managing the tyres. It's not about worrying about degrading. Michelin don't want to be associated with degrading tyres. And I think it's a great idea. If you want to put, a medium on your rear and some super softs up front, if it's going to last you, still have a mandatory pit stop in there somewhere, but actually have that change of a different compound, and everyone can be running it whichever way they want compared to how they're... And also at each Grand Prix, you'd have more track running because people would want to get the optimum tyre performance for your race weekend.
It's an interesting idea. Luke, any chance of it happening? Not really?
No, because...
Unlikely.
Michelin wanted the tender, but they were still going to have the 13-inch tyres, which is what they have now, or 13-inch rims. Then they're going to go to 18-inch rims the year after. So, why put all the technology in for 1 year? Give us the year after. We'll start from there and have it. No point doing all the technology for a tyre that's going to change in a year's time for a different rim. That's...
Interesting. Just going back to Sebastian Vettel for a moment. I have never seen him make so many mistakes in a season. I'm not sure if you have or not. Do you think... that didn't happen in Red Bull when he was driving for Red Bull. Is it the pressure of driving for Ferrari? Because he's copying a fair bit from Italian media right now. He's copying a fair bit. They're saying that...
Hey,
what do you do? You're breaking my balls. You're throwing it away. Why you do this? Why? He seems to be throwing it away, and he's copying it. So he must be feeling the pressure from the Italian fans, the media.
I've no doubt there's significant pressure when you drive for Ferrari.
It's elevated.
I think he wants to emulate his hero, Michael Schumacher, and he did, doing a nice little pirouette at the chicane. But I think there's a lot of pressure he's putting on himself, and I think maybe he needs to speak to a sports psychologist and sort of get in his head to sort of relax himself. And
different psychologist to Max Verstappen's. Don't go for that one. Don't go for... He's not great.
Max is shock therapy, which clearly isn't working.
It's electric. Yeah.
Yeah. He just has Tourette's.
That guy.
Whenever anything's said to him on the radio.
Man, Verstappen, what a douche.
Yeah, that's
serious.
It's pretty clear cut when you drive into the side of someone saying, I left him enough room. He even watched the replay and still stood by that he gave him enough room. Why was there contact? He was...
Yeah, he's very quickly becoming my least favourite driver on the grid. If he wasn't already. It's just...
It's petulance.
It's like a little baby.
Yeah.
He's like a boy baby.
Did you see the baby photo of Lewis?
No.
They had the photo of him and then a kid's face crying. It was quite funny. But yeah, I completely agree with Max, and my issue with Max, and they talk about his driving skills, but it's the attitude. The attitude that's not going to win you a championship.
Unquestionable talent, just...
He's talented, he's quick, he can pull a race win.
But no one likes him because he's such an idiot.
But I think it's his attitude. Even after he got the penalty from Bottas, he said, I'm not going to let him past at all. I'm going to do everything in my power not to let him past. I'm like, that's just... You're losing time to Sebastian now. If you let him past, you could maybe try and keep with him to keep 5 seconds away from Sebastian. Or don't make contact with Bottas in the first place and you'll probably get a podium. Because we know Bottas isn't going to make a move. He's not going to make a proper pass.
It's not what he does.
So he'll be on the outside. You just go around the outside of him into that corner. He's not going to overtake you.
Guaranteed. Bottas will not try to overtake you.
You just don't make contact with him. And it's just, like what happened in F3 with Esteban Ocon. Yeah, Max won some races, but Esteban won the championship. And it's because of this attitude. Even Esteban talked about it in the Formula One podcast. He needs to change his attitude if he wants to win a championship. He needs to play a long game. Like when you play golf, as much as I despise golf, you don't win it on one day. No. You win it over 4 days. You win it over 21 races in the championship. And sometimes you need to go, today's not the day. I need to just consolidate points. This guy's clearly quicker than me.
Take my time.
Just don't make contact. You don't need to make contact.
Yeah, and it's just blatant. You just pushed Bottas off track. It was so obvious. And then to make such a big fuss about the fact that he'd been given a penalty and then pretend to be surprised.
But even afterwards, like there's a lot of drivers, they'll go in the heat of the moment, adrenaline's kicking in. They think they've done nothing wrong. And then they look back and go, oh, yeah, it was a bit of a dick move.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't seem to have that reflection to go, yeah, that was pretty stupid.
Yeah. No, not great. So
change your attitude, you win a championship.
Change your attitude, boys.
That's what we say here at the F1 podcast.
Vettel, just stay on track. We might have a chat to Vettel very shortly.
We will. I'm not sure what I'm going to ask him.
Direct line. I'm not sure where he is. He's probably in the naughty corner. He's probably put himself in the naughty corner.
We're
not
sure.
He's
got his dunce hat on, sitting in the corner.
Oh, boy. Anyway, let's take a look at the tipping challenge between you and I. How did we fare? We've got an ongoing tipping. I'm 4 points in front, and you seem cocky. Oh, dear.
No.
Oh, it's bad news for you.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Okay, so I was 4 points up coming into Monza.
You are now +7.
Feel that? Can you feel that?
That's
a ribbing, my friend.
I should have went full Kimi. I only went half Kimi.
The half Kimi.
I should have went full Kimi. But there was one. I think I went full Bottas.
No one goes full Bottas.
And
never do a full Bottas.
Never go full Bottas. I went full Bottas, and I'm paying the price. Just some things I also want to clear up at the end of the race. Romain Grosjean had an illegal flaw. Renault challenged the legality of their flaw. It was brought in Canada, and they had some infringements. They're like, all right, after the summer break, make sure it's sorted, or we'll give you after the Belgian Grand Prix. Belgian Grand Prix went, but they hadn't changed it for Monza.
So just briefly, it's the undercarriage, if I could say that, of
as
the car.
As you're cupping something, yes, the
Look at my
undercarriage
hands.
of the car.
Yeah, so cough for me.
Two hands, man.
Two hands for you.
Generous.
So it's the circumference of
it's the edge,
the seat?
The edge of the... so where the floor is...
So now you're cupping.
The front of the floor, underneath, there's...
I don't know why we're doing that with our hands because no one can see our hands.
There's a tray that sort of hits... It's where the air hits just underneath where the cockpit is.
Yep.
And they've just adjusted the front corner of it.
For aero purposes?
And of course, everything's for aero purposes. And it's outside of the rules. So
Renault pointed this out.
Renault had a win.
Grosjean
lose these points.
Is this something that Renault just had in the bag, ready to go, waiting for the moment that
well, they didn't
Haas was going to get
so
maximum points?
Yeah, so any of the Haas, Magnussen had the contact earlier, so he finished last, but there was plans for because they're fighting with Haas for fourth in the World Championship, and Renault is only 10 points ahead of Haas, so if they have an illegal flaw, they left themselves open to this possible challenge, and therefore Renault
perfect time
did
to
exactly
drop it.
what they need to do. It's a very Alain Prost move.
Yes.
And Alain Prost is at Renault. Also, Sergei Sorokin gets a point because of Grosjean and Ons. So congratulations to the Rusky, a well-earned point. Stroll drove really well as well to get 2 points for Williams.
It's weird to say that, isn't it?
It
feels
is
weird.
Yep, I'll probably
Stroll drove well.
Yep. Also in practice, the stay-at-home Viking had a big shunt.
Yeah.
A massive accident for the stay-at-home Viking, and I've just had word. What the actual problem was in terms of the DRS, because he put his foot on the brake, DRS didn't close, the car pitched into the wall, and then a barrel rolled and shit flew off. Upside down.
He wasn't happened to be eating a packet of Doritos at the time. Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding you. Dorito dust caught in the sensor on the side, kept it open. The Dorito
they've actually
dust got caught.
Got into it and they've taken it apart and they
CSI'd it.
CSI'd it. The cheesy cheese variety.
Yep, Cheese Supreme.
Cheese
Doritos.
Supreme. Elements of that that's unbelievable.
Yep. So he must have been eating it in practice in the cockpit, and then as he's gone down the straight, it's come up over his shoulders into the rear wing.
These Doritos are delicious, but I think I'm gonna crash. Genius.
That's what's happened.
You're a genius. How did you work this out?
You won't hear that from any other news outlet.
You will not. For good reason. You came along with your little CSI swab kit, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did the
That's my
brushy brush.
finger.
You went,
Cheese Supreme.
it tastes like cheese supreme. It's okay, guys. I figured it out.
Change
It's
the
cheese
flavour.
supreme.
I know, Cheese Supreme.
Damn you, Lucas.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help.
With your sensitive taste buds, you can choose any Dorito variety.
I lick every car after a crash just to see what
Just
it
to
tastes
see
like.
what they've been doing in there. Sometimes it's most unpleasant.
Oh.
Oh dear. Well, that is good. Thanks for that inside info. We should have some awards, Luke. You've
There's
got a whole
awards.
bag full of awards there to your right-hand side that producer Peter has been whittling overnight. He is a master whittler, and he has come up with some beautifully handcrafted awards.
Where's
to
his
hand
favourite
out.
place to ski? Whistler?
Whistler. And that's what I likes to whittle
Does
on
he
top of
also
the
like-
mountain.
Cool Whip?
Cool whip. So, can you hand out the Green Award, please? The
Green Award.
smallest carbon footprint award.
Green Award goes to the man who didn't even make it to the first corner, Brendon Hartley.
Brendon.
Some
We're going to speak to him shortly as well.
bad luck, Brendon.
Oh, Brendon.
Bad luck, Brendon.
What is
He's not the Kiwi kid anymore. He's bad luck, Brendon.
bad luck? Man, I just don't believe that someone could have that much bad luck.
Believe it.
It's true. It's happening.
Yep. We're witnessing it.
Lucky's got that second job. That toilet cleaning job that he picked
Wonder
up.
if he gets the next one at Singapore. I wouldn't want to go to those toilets. It'd be hot and steamy.
No, there's a lot of squats over there. They still do the squat toilets, and it's the moisture and it's heat, the humidity.
Maybe they could use that as, instead of burning fossil fuels, they could just use that as
Use the
heat,
gas.
humidity.
Send that gas straight back into the cars. Recycle that, and
There you go.
There you go. Next award is the Waste of Time Award. Luke, you've had a look at this with the UGE Day Award.
Well
Who
done.
wasted? Thank you. I've been practicing. Who's wasted your time out
I
there?
can see in front of the mirror. UGE Day.
It's all in the mouth.
UGE Day.
Yeah.
It was this week goes to Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, poor Dan.
Again, he shouldn't have turned up. He had engine penalties, so he started at the back. Mind you, this is probably one of the worst executed drives I've seen him drive.
Really?
When I was watching him,
He was in like
His-
11th place.
his
That's not
passes
that
weren't
bad.
clean. He was
Okay.
bumping. He was
Was he?
going too late. I think he was rushing it too much. It's
Okay.
a long race. I think he just needed, like, the clutch went anyway.
Yep.
But he just seemed to, like, compared to last year when he went from last to
Yeah.
P4,
Yep. Not as clean. Not as
not clean.
Not on it.
And it's, you're battling too much. Like, you don't have to overtake in turn one. You can overtake down to the next chicane.
It's probably because he's not allowed to turn up to any briefings anymore. at Red Bull Garage. They've just alienated him. He just sits there eating his Doritos
So
with Ericsson.
I think, it was just
What a shame.
poor driving, waste of time because you had engine penalties, so you didn't really finish qualifying, and then you didn't finish the race. Brendon Hartley's already got the green award, so we can't give him another one.
Poor Dan.
But,
4 did not finishes in the last 6
it's a
races.
Trans-Tasman fuck-uppery.
Isn't it? It's not good down here.
One
The
of them's going to have a drive next year.
southern part of the equator, down here, way down here. We're not having fun.
No. And we're the ones who have to stay up and watch it.
Yeah, it's playing 3 in the morning. It's a double whammy. Now it's time for the Effing One Podcast Award, making Formula One great. Luke, who made Formula One great this week?
This week, no surprises. It's the Monza circuit. Monza made F1 great again. The circuit layout, chicanes, long straights. And one of the journalists was saying, and it's a very good point, Hockenheim used to be long straights and chicanes, and you'd get similar races to what we saw on the weekend. Bring back the old Hockenheim. Bring back the old straights.
Yeah.
Chicanes.
Yep.
Instead of this dinky-die piece of shit that we have in Germany.
Yeah.
Bring back Hockenheim, but
Bring it
Monza
back.
gets it this weekend for making F1 great again with a great race.
Beautiful race. We might be treated to some more great racing. We've got Singapore up next, and that always dishes up some hot, sweet and sour goodness, doesn't it?
Last year we had a bit of a chaos into the first corner when Max got pinched by the Sebastian, which
Yep.
then hit Raikkonen, which then hit Alonso, which took out a few other people.
Let's see some Red Bull action in there as well. Red Bull might be up closer to the action this time around.
Should be.
Fingers crossed. The Pastor Maldonado Award for dangerous driving. Lucas.
I thought maybe But it wasn't Ericsson's fault, so I'm not going to give it to Ericsson for his Doritos in the DRS.
No, because those Doritos are irresistible.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame him for
Really good.
downing a packet.
Yeah.
This is proudly sponsored by Doritos.
We are.
The segment. Sorry, carry on.
But Max.
Yeah.
Max for his little bumper cars into Bottas. And my favourite part was on the radio when they said, we've got a 5-second penalty. He goes, for what?
You idiot.
Didn't you feel that big ka-thump when you turned left into the side of Bottas?
And then it got worse because he said something about, they're trying to ruin Formula One racing. Dude, you should have got a drive-through penalty. Thank your lucky stars.
You only got 5 seconds. It was pretty clear cut.
And then later on, he wouldn't let... No, he wasn't going to... He threw some other great magic down the radio as well.
He was never going to let him pass.
That's right.
Yeah, so dangerous driving goes to you, Max.
Well done, Max.
And your 5-second penalty proves it.
Yep, you're never going to win a championship. Now, the Lickett and Senate Award, Luke.
Now, there was
overtaking manoeuvre, the best one.
There was a great battle between Kimi and Lewis for the race. On the restart, you had Lewis get the overtaking move done on the restart into turn 1-2, into the first chicane, and then Kimi gets him straight back around the outside. But for the race win, Lewis Hamilton gets it.
Around the outside?
Around the outside.
Around the outside.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Into the first chicane.
Sweet move.
Kimi had some damaged tyres, but to still make it move. Also, for Kimi not touching him, not bumping into him, for not hitting him, and also not doing a Bottas. Kimi understood that he had some rear tyre issues, and he didn't do a Bottas who was like, he should know how bad my car is, and he shouldn't try and overtake me around the outside.
Yep.
That's how you race, that's how you drive, and that's how you win championships.
And that's how you overtake. That's how adults overtake in cars. They don't run into each other, and it was just a ripper race on the edge of your seat all the way to the flag. Mm-hmm. It was normally, quite often you can fall asleep halfway through, Luke. We have done before. Not in this race. If you weren't paying full attention, there was something very wrong with you. So,
maybe you have attention deficit disorder.
Yep. Really great race. And
the F1 Awards.
Oh, F1 Awards, yeah.
Yep, the F1 Awards. The fastest lap goes to Lewis Hamilton. The fastest pit stop Ferrari for a 2.2 second pit stop on Raikkonen. And driver of the day was Kimi Raikkonen.
Yeah.
Bit harsh on Lewis, but...
Kimi Raikkonen
gets. He did a very good job all weekend, got pole, led the race for most of it. And then Lewis finished the job with some fresher tyres.
I read a quote from Sebastian somewhere along... I didn't write it down. Somewhere along the lines of he is now having to race against his teammate. Did you perusal that quote anywhere? He's kicking up a bit of a fuss, and it seems to me that Kimi is not going to be in Ferrari next year, and that he didn't give the tow for qualifying, didn't help out Sebastian, and in the race, I kind of got that vibe. Did you get that vibe?
I saw the quote, but there was a Mercedes in front of Sebastian.
Okay.
So it wasn't just Sebastian was the first one over the line. But Kimi got pole. He was behind Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think from the rumours I'm hearing now, I don't think Raikkonen will be driving for Ferrari next year.
Just seems that he's not going to be the wingman. He's lost his wingman tag, and he's not so much prepared to be the assistant that he was before to Sebastian. And Sebastian is making some murmurs, and he didn't want to comment about it. So it's something a bit weird going on there. We'll find out more about that a little bit later on.
I think if Kimi may not have got pole or may not have had a good weekend, they may have announced the Leclerc signing. It's in Ferrariville. I thought maybe they might do it.
Where does Kimi go?
Wah.
We'll ask him. We can ask him. No, that's next week.
No, we look into it. We just look into his life. We don't get a chance to
we don't get a chance.
interfere.
No, you're right. I keep forgetting. The Sebastian we talk to, Kimi we just watch.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch, though.
I like to watch.
Yeah, we like to watch Kimi. He's a drunk, crazy Finn. So, driver of the day, Kimi Raikkonen. We should probably Skype Sebastian. Probably a good time.
Let's have a
Let's
chat with
check
Sebastian.
him out, see where he is.
Just dial him up.
Should we dial him up?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's call him.
Hey, Sebastian.
Hey guys, what's going on? Can you see me?
No, you seem quite chipper.
I'm chipper right now, but yeah, when I think about stuff...
Are you taking those pills again?
No. I'm
uppers?
just inanimate, just straight up the old tushy tush. What's going on, guys?
He has a lot of talk of your rear end. On
What's
this
your podcast thing called again? What am I talking on here?
Talking
What's
to
this?
the,
I don't care. Whatever. Get
F1
over
podcast.
it. I don't even know what that is. Is it even a thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how is your Italian Grand Prix?
Oh Jesus. Und Scheißenhauser.
Shithouse.
Yeah, not great.
Translation for
I'm
everyone.
gonna be honest with you, Lucas. I would rather be bleaching my asshole right now. But unfortunately, she's booked out. Heidi is very busy, so I might just get my undercarriage, my Google suck, just get a little clean up, so a little waxy wax. I just need to cheer myself up, and that helps me.
That's the way that you get happy.
Yeah. So wow, what a weekend! I'm really struggling now. You know how I said all I need to do. This was last week when I spoke on the podcast. What's it called again? This podcast? I don't fucking care, whatever it is. I said last week, all I need to do is keep the car on the track and I will win the world championship. Remember this, when I said this?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, huh?
Yeah,
Shit.
You didn't mind you, it was a very similar move that your hero, Michael Schumacher, did in 2004.
I've always been a big fan. So to any chance to emulate the great Michael Schumacher, I will do this. So yeah, I did the same pirouette. I did the same turn, didn't I?
Yeah.
Almost identical. If you actually take the video side by side, you will see that Michael and I are very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's won 7 world championships.
Sure, I've won 4.
What are
you saying?
The contact, did you hit Lewis or did
No.
Lewis hit you or what happened there?
No, he squeezed me. So I was just taking the driving line. So just normally, look at me go. Driving's like an awesome guy that I am. Look at me, party boy, guys. Coming on the inside. And sure enough, out of nowhere. What is he doing? This is crazy.
Around the outside of you. And
Yeah.
it really shows how fragile the cars are when it comes to, it's quite small contact you made. And therefore for your rear end to spin.
No, he put his arm out.
Oh, he did.
He did put the arm out and
missed
he said, I can't say this on radio. Fuck you, Sebastian. I went, oh, and he pushed me away.
Didn't
So,
see that.
Yeah, he's got very...
There's another effing one podcast, Sebastian Scoop.
It is, sure. Yeah, but it was not great for me. But I came through the field like a fucking champion.
What are your chances are at Singapore? Are you looking forward to that?
I like Singapore. It's very hot and moist. And I'm
Very
always
sticky.
a big fan, very sticky. So I need to wear, the clothing to not make it so undercarriage is so sweaties. But in the car, I like the track. I just have to make sure Max crazy RCOs as Verstappen's not anywhere near me. And I think I will win. And I will come back, look, and you will see me win the world championship.
Well, I wish you all the luck for Singapore, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, look, send me a dick pic, okay? Just send me one. I just need to be cheered up a little bit.
All right.
Just
All right.
one.
Just for you.
Just a little one.
You got to stop fucking up on track, and then I don't have to keep doing it.
Yeah. Just something small to make me smile.
It'll be small, don't worry.
It's perfect. Don't worry about it. Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, that was nice.
Yeah. Can I send him your dick?
He'll recognize. He won't recognize mine. What a great guy, Sebastian. He's always got so much time for F1 podcast.
He does.
It's a pleasure to
does.
get him on. Thanks for that wonderful relationship that you have with him. Otherwise, he would definitely not be on this podcast. So the things that you do to tempt him on,
You're welcome.
the pics that you need to send him,
Yeah.
should be banned, should be illegal.
Should be.
Unless you're a Catholic
some countries
priest.
It is.
Yep, correct. Not in the Vatican, but here in this country,
I don't know how many Vatican references we can get into a podcast.
Oh dear. Oh jeez.
So done the Skype with Sebastian.
That was
and we
good.
Got some F1 news.
Oh, F1 news.
Yeah.
What about driver news?
Driver news. Silly season is in full swing. I have heard reports that Toro Rosso might be signing the missile Daniel Kvyat.
Really?
Yeah.
Kvyat?
You hear a pin drop. Yeah.
What?
He's
that
actually
right?
in the Ferrari camp at the moment.
How reliable is this source of yours?
It's not
Toro Rosso.
very reliable. But yeah, there's a move that he could be going there.
They're
running out of people to put in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, they might have Raikkonen as an option. There'll be a few drivers floating around that won't have a seat. But Kvyat,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And who would be in the other spot?
Well, McLaren is saying that it'd be silly that Toro Rosso don't sign up Van Dorn.
Van Dorn's another option.
I would put Van Dorn in the car. If I was any of the team, I'd put Van Dorn in the car.
Yeah, but
He's had a terrible
he's not been
last,
great.
handful of races, but he's a quality driver. He will, in a good car, he will perform. He's been against Fernando Alonso.
Tough ask.
Very tough ask. It's like when Sebastian Bourdais came into F1 and his teammate was Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
Tough ask.
Tough.
I rate Sebastian Bourdais.
Yep.
And
We
he
don't
won
rate Sebastian Vettel
4
anymore.
Champ Car champions. He was dominant in Champ Car
Yep.
in that time. And he went to F1 and he just didn't get it. And he didn't get a full season. But I think Van Dorn should get a seat. There was going to be Lando Norris go to Toro Rosso for the engineer James Key
Yep.
to go to McLaren.
But Lando Norris is locked in for
Lando Norris
McLaren.
locked in with McLaren with Carlos Sainz.
What about
That's a
Russell?
poor signing. I think McLaren were entertaining the idea of Norris going to Toro Rosso, but they feared that Red Bull would then own him. And
Right.
that'd be it.
Yeah.
You would never get him back. And they weren't keen on that. So going, stuff it, we'll put him in the car.
Yep.
I mean, stuff
Kind of
Stoffel, we're going to put him in the
Buff
car.
the Stoffel.
So yeah, I think if Stoffel had a chance against Sainz to get his ass kicked. But to have your experienced driver, being well beaten by Nico Hulkenberg, and now he's going to be your lead driver, I can only see McLaren struggling.
Oh, yeah. For a long
I really
time.
can't see them picking it up. With Fernando, he's going to fight for every race of every Grand Prix he's going to be racing in.
That's not going to happen next year.
It's not going to happen with these two. I rate Norris. I think he could probably have another year in Formula 2. He's had some off races. He's got the speed, he's got the talent, but I don't think he's quite there yet.
Yep.
I think that we're rushing a lot of junior people in where you've got some experience there who,
Yeah.
Ocon.
Where's he going to go?
The Mercedes were saying that we were concerned about the links with, that he could only be driving from McLaren for 1 year and then he could be taking Bottas
Yep.
or sort of an emergency just in case Lewis pulls the pin.
You've got Ocon who hasn't got a seat.
Ocon hasn't got a
Raikkonen
seat.
quite possibly hasn't got a drive.
Yeah.
Hartley. Well, no one's going to pick Hartley up, let's be honest. It's a bit of a stretch. But there's going to be some drivers that are
Got some job
struggling.
options, just not in F1.
Where's Perez going? Any
Perez, I think with the money he brings into Force India or Racing Point,
idea? He's
whatever
sticking
it's called,
around?
he'll stay there.
Yeah.
He's got too much money coming in from Mexico.
It's a shame to lose Ocon, though. I'd rather lose Perez and keep Ocon.
Yeah.
Because the money that Stroll brings, you don't need Perez's money anymore.
But where's Williams going to get some money if once Stroll leaves? Will they have to bring another Russian in with Artem Markelov or someone
some
else with
Russian money in there.
Big,
Like we said, Team Putin.
big wallet?
Like we did say that. We spy, you cry. Yes, yes,
He's on the engine cover.
yes.
Slow down, we are faster.
We fast, or I shoot in face.
There's little guns pointing outwards.
It's like the Wacky Racers. Is it Dastardly?
Dick Dastardly.
Dick Dastardly.
Yep.
All those little contraptions on the side to
And he's Muttley.
sabotage. Well, that would be Williams. All those crazy Russians in there.
Yeah.
Good chance of Kubica driving this year.
I hope so.
He didn't sound very
excited.
excited. Did you hear what he said? He wasn't very excited by the fact that he might be driving Williams.
Would you?
Well, no, but
I think a chance just to show people that I'm better than Sirocco.
that's why I thought he might be a bit more excited.
Yeah. I think he wants to drive, he just doesn't want to drive a shitbox.
Yeah.
It's like every day I used to get him old cars. Like,
Yeah.
got to get in this thing.
It kind of sounded like, I don't mind being a test driver, but I do not want to drive that piece of shit in
Yeah,
a race.
I don't want to be seen in public.
Yeah, I don't want to see, no one to see
You've got an
me.
ugly girlfriend. I don't want to see in public. She's really lovely.
She's great personality, but God, she's a Williams. Fuck. You know what we should do? Oh, sorry, we've got more driving news. Do we have more- No.
That's it. We're done.
I think it's time for Finding a Job with
Brendon.
Brendon. It's a new segment and very popular on the FE1 Podcast Twitter page. A lot of big thumbs up. Well, your mum likes it. And we are going to find out what Brendon is doing because last week, Brendon Hartley, of course, driver for Toro Rosso, he's most likely not going to be there. Had a horrible Monza, just a horrible season. He's a better driver than this, we think. We don't know because he never finishes, so it's hard to tell. So he actually picked up a job last week. He went to the Centrelink office, which is, if you're not familiar with Australian Centrelink, it's where you go for unemployment to find a potential job. He wanted a driving job. There was nothing in Formula One that the lady could offer him on the board. He wanted to drive a hearse, I think, from memory.
Yep.
That wasn't available. There was
Safe.
a toilet cleaning job that he ended up taking, but it was at Monza. So he was there cleaning the toilets.
He ran a double shift.
Which is why he probably crashed out early, because he realised that cubicle number 4
was getting backed up. He got it on radio at the start. They're like, you need to
it was like,
finish this
lights
race.
out and go. Hey, Hartley, cubicle 4, overflow, needs new time paper.
All right, I'll get in there soon. Oh, my race is over. Oh, shit. Oh, I better go clean cubicle 4.
Okay, boss, be there soon.
Oh, I'll see you there.
But that toilet was one of the cleanest toilets in Monza all weekend.
Yep. You can
And
eat
that's
off it.
saying something, because those Italians...
A lot of attention to detail with Brendon.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah, very clean. Very clean. He'd get right in there.
Oh, yeah.
Pop his head in there.
Elbows.
The blue loo.
Oh.
Just really great. So should we find out what he's... Oh, how he went. Maybe a little chat about... Where is he? Oh, here he is. Brendon. Brendon, come on in, Brendon.
Well, g'day, guys.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Thanks for having me on again.
Hey, no worries, man.
Thanks for catching up.
Oh, pleasure,
Had
pleasure.
a busy weekend cleaning shitters.
You probably didn't get very many interviews.
Nah,
But
no one wants to talk to me anymore, but I'm
A
glad
lot
you
of
guys
toilets.
do.
Yeah, a lot of toilets. So how many toilets did you clean?
52.
52. That's a lot. Good that you've crashed out early.
Oh, yeah, I had plenty of time.
Yeah, that's really great. What's the technique? Because apparently you clean the best loo.
I've got a technique.
What do you do there,
It's
mate?
all elbow grease. You know, I get right in there, scrubbing with... they give me one brush, but the brush doesn't work.
Yep.
I've got my own little special... It's like a glove.
Yeah.
And it's like an exfoliating glove.
Okay.
And I use that and
Okay.
I get right in under that shit. And then it just comes up sparkling clean.
That's great.
Yeah.
Don't know if you realise this.
I did get Toilet Cleaner of the Week.
You did? There have also been some complaints.
What do you mean there's been complaints?
There's been complaints.
Was that from Toro Rosso? They
about
can
you,
fuck
not
themselves.
so much cleaning toilets, but crashing into them. Very much like you drive your cars, Formula One cars.
Oh, the truck that loads it up to suck the shit up, I was reversing.
Sorry.
I was reversing. I can't see. There's no way. They don't put mirrors on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
I just reversed it over.
Yeah. So I think Hartley, what the complaints are generally that you're cleaning a wonderful toilet, but when it comes to moving them, when you're driving the truck, you really shouldn't drive anything. Okay, I think that's the bottom line. Please don't drive anything. Just clean the fucking toilet.
I tipped.
Okay. All right, Brendon.
When I reversed in, I just tipped it over.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Look, it's not me. It's just that.
I don't laugh. I take my toilet cleaning really seriously.
And look,
And
we
I
still
get
want
quite
you to.
emotional
They
when I-
still want you to clean in Singapore.
Oh, well, I
It
don't
is-
know if I'll be able to make it to Singapore. I don't know if I'll have a job.
No, well, you're definitely cleaning toilets.
Okay.
It's going to be hot, wet, and moist.
I'm not looking forward to
If
that.
you didn't like the toilets in Monza, you're definitely not going to
I
like them in
hope that I can
Singapore.
get a high pressure hose.
Or find you something. Just no driving. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
We'll see you in Singapore.
I'll see you in Singapore, bro.
And that was Finding a Job with Brendon. Oh, wow, there you go. What a nice guy.
He's a terrible driver.
He's a chipper fella, isn't he? Keeps his chin up.
He has. Great attitude.
Great at it. Good work ethic. Really good.
Cleanest toilets I've seen in a long time.
It's a beautiful...
Except for that one he knocked over.
You could almost eat your spaghetti bolognese off that seat.
You could. Do you know who we haven't seen for a while?
Who?
Terry.
Terry. Have you seen
He's
Terry?
gone missing. Since
Okay.
the summer break, I haven't seen him.
Terry, of course, for those who aren't familiar with him, is the guy in the pits that is originally from the Haas pit garage team. always involved in every single stuff up in every garage.
If there's a loose wheel, it's probably because of Terry.
It's Terry. He turns up in different outfits for different teams. He just turns up just for shits and giggles, and then nicks off again.
Yeah.
But you're the only one in Formula One that picks it up.
He's a serial habitual. He just screws stuff up.
That's the technical term.
Technical, very technical.
Did you happen to spot him anywhere?
No.
At Monza?
I haven't seen him since was before Hungary.
He's probably just playing a low key.
I think
just
he knows,
blending
I think
in.
He's a listener, and he knows we're onto him.
Are you listening?
But not many people do listen to us.
Terry, are you out there?
Terry, just drop us a line on Twitter. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat with Terry in the next podcast.
He can't. I don't think he can use Twitter.
Singapore.
I don't think he can use it. Social media is not his strength. Morse code us, Terry, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Or send a carrier pigeon. Do something. We need to hear from you. We want to know what's happening.
Yeah. That's a long flight for a pigeon.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
It's a really long flight. Well, hopefully we'll catch up with Terry next week. Of course, because it is the Singapore Under Lights Grand Prix. It is going to be...
Very easy to get away with things under lights.
Very much. Terry, that's where he looms in the dark corners of obscurity. I can't even say the word.
English isn't your first language.
No, it's not. It's Italian. Molto bene, bene grazie. That was fantastico. What a great race, Monza. Let's hope that Singapore is going to be as exciting as Monza. And, of course, look out for the next FE1 podcast preview of Singapore coming up next week. You're going on a boat cruise, Luke.
Yep. I'm cruising.
For your dad's birthday?
No.
Just
family cruise.
Just a family cruise.
Unrelated. Pa's not well.
Oh, okay.
So we're having a family cruise. Get the gang back together.
Yep.
Good turnout. We're going to head up to the Great Barrier Reef. Go snorkeling. Pa won't snorkel. I can't put a wheelie walk around the Great Barrier Reef. We get stuck on some coral.
Yep.
So he's just going to watch, or he'll do his own little day trips.
If you think seedy things happen in dark races like Singapore, imagine a boat cruise.
Oh, it's going to get messy.
Have you packed any,
Nah.
protection?
Nah.
You probably need it.
Oh, I need it.
They're all old ladies. Just take some Vaseline, isn't that right? Producer Pete? No, he's
asleep.
He's asleep. It's fine.
He's a professional napper, Producer Pete.
Well, have fun on the boat cruise, and we'll see you back here for the preview of Singapore. Big thanks to Luke's mum for the smorgasbord. Thank you so much. What do we have here today, Luke? Your mum always makes us some delicious treats.
Yeah.
What? We've got spaghetti bolognese.
That's a Neenish tart next to it.
That's a Neenish.
Because whenever I eat spaghetti, I want a Neenish tart. Sugar.
Oh.
Biscuit base. Bit of jam. Cream.
Mrs.
What
Luke.
can you not like?
Mrs. Luke, you damn genius. You evil, sweet, sweet genius. We've got some paninis.
Paninis.
We've got some... What are those? Cannellonis.
Cannellonis. And beside that, Mum's gone a bit Aussie here. She's made a Vegemite scroll. Now, for those of you listeners who don't know what Vegemite is, it's a terrible spread. It's very salty.
Yeah, not very Italian.
No, not Italian. In pastry with a bit of cheese.
Yep.
Wrapped into a scroll. Beautiful thing if you like Vegemite. Terrible thing if you don't.
Tastes like arse if you don't like Vegemite. So that she snuck that in sneakily into the Italian spread.
I know you kept your eyes on it because.
I know. I was going to say, what is that?
Dark, mysterious, swirly thing.
I thought someone had done a nard on your desk, but no, it's a Vegemite scroll. There you go.
Nard.
Okay. Well, thanks very much to Luke's mum, number one listener. She could be our only listener.
Probably.
That's not true.
No. There's 3 other people.
Yep. There's Sebastian Vettel's.
You, me.
Ask Bleaching Lady, Helga.
Helga listens.
She's a big fan.
Yeah.
It helps her to bleach, apparently.
So to the Swedish people that listen, the American people that listen.
We apologise.
Thanks for listening.
Firstly, we say sorry. Then we say thank you.
The previous podcast we can apologise for. This one, this is all right.
This is all gold.
This is at least... There's gold, silver, bronze, tin, and dung. Go by the Roy HG.
This is nard level.
Nard.
This is just above nard.
No, last one was nard.
Yeah. This is between nard and rubbish.
Tin, dung, and then nard, which is very similar to nard.
You know what? Luke, we need to get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Get hold of us with comments. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, or just say hi. FE1 Podcast Twitter page. Love to see you. Luke, Awesome. Let's get sweaty. Let's get to Singapore. Bring it on.